So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Stephanie Allen, and I am the Assistant Director within the Division of Professional Studies. I welcome you to the UMBC Data Science Virtual Open House. Before we begin, I'd like to go over some housekeeping items. Please note that this session is being recorded for quality assurance purposes. Within 2 weeks following tonight's session, our marketing team will be sending each attendee a copy of tonight's video recording. With that in mind, and in order to provide the best experience for you and all of the other attendees, please keep your microphone muted until we reach the Q&A portion. If you are in need of closed captioning, please feel free to send a message in the chat box. If questions arise during the presentation, please feel free to utilize that same WebEx chat feature to submit your question. In addition, we have outlined a formal Q&A period at the end of the presentation to address your questions. However, in the event that we are unable to answer your question tonight, either I or Dr. Simsek can be reached via email. We hope that you enjoy the presentation, and without further ado, I introduce you to the Graduate Program Director, Dr. Ergin Simsek.
Thanks so much, Stephanie. Stephanie, you sound so professional and also at the same time a little bit bossy. So, but our participants got the idea. So you are the boss. No, that's okay. Let's move forward. All right. Good afternoon or good evening, everyone. My name is Ergin Simsek. I'm the GPD, Graduate Program Director. And I am the advisor of all the main campus students. So if you join us, just remember that I will be your advisor. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully in the following 40 minutes or so, maybe less or maybe more, I will be able to provide enough information about our program, about our faculty members, etc. And if you have some questions at the end, I will be very happy to answer them. All right, so this is our main campus, our beautiful main campus, and if you can see my mouse pointer, cursor, this is the IT building where my office is. So Stephanie's office is in the another building which is in front of our building, but you will be studying here, hopefully starting from next fall. So I have 20 slides. I will begin with what's data science, why it's so popular right now. Then we will continue with our program, courses, faculty members, and then at the end we will talk about admissions. Okay. All right, so what is data science, why it is so popular right now? Actually, it has been very popular in the past 10 years, but it is still popular, and according to the several studies, it will be also popular in the following 5 to 10 years. We know that. So what is data science? It's a difficult question, because if you ask this question to different people working in the field of data science, probably they will come up with different answers. I'm using data science to solve problems in photonics or design photonics devices. If you talk to someone in industry, maybe in finance, they are using data science to find answers to their questions related to increasing their profit, coming up with new customer recommendations, new product recommendations. So it depends, right? But basically, we have tools, we have methods, we have algorithms, and we have different type of data sets. And our job is extract unseen, hidden data from those data sets. But again, data sets could be in any format. Sometimes they're so easy, they're in a CSV file or Excel file. But sometimes we have to deal with text file, then we have to do some NLP, natural language processing. Sometimes linear regression is enough, but sometimes we have to build neural networks to solve, especially problems like my problem. My problem, we always deal with nonlinear devices. So in that one, linear regression or linear methods are not enough. So we have to use deep learning. So basically, it is gathering information from complex and large data sets, right? But if we ask why right now or in the past 5 to 10 years, data science has become very popular, And there are multiple aspects, 4 or 5, depending on your perspective. But the number one is, of course, the amount of data we are generating, right? 20 years ago, or 25 years ago, we didn't have these smartphones. We didn't have all these technologies to take photos, use GPS all the time, use applications like Google Maps or Waze. Like basically, like we just increase how much data we create. And if you look at this graph, it basically tells us that the amount of data we are generating is just increasing exponentially. So that's number one, right? Now we have more data, so we have more food to consume. The other thing is this is like the figure on the right top, or on your left maybe. So you see a big capacitor, right? So this big capacitor is actually a memory device. And IBM was selling this memory device for $50,000 in 1950s, end of 50s, early 60s. But if you go to like Amazon, you can right now buy a USB stick for terabyte, like which can hold terabytes of data for $50, $60, okay, or even cheaper during the Black Friday, right? So storing data is now much more cheaper, right? The other thing is we have these bad boys. So these are like GPUs, graphics processing units, or like we have TPUs. So these devices are specifically created for doing vector and matrix calculations in a much faster way. So these GPUs and TPUs reduce the amount of like computation time, like 2 orders and sometimes like 3 orders of magnitude, and it's a huge saving. Okay, so these 3 things, and also the 4th one, I would say. So the field of data science is very different than all the other fields. Like, for example, my background, it is in electrical engineering. Like I was doing like scientific computing for like photonics or electromagnetics. And whenever we come up with a new algorithm, new method, we were publishing papers, but we never share our codes. Okay, that wasn't in our culture. But data science is not like that. Like everyone who comes up with small or big ideas, like they share their codes through GitHub or their personal websites or some other platforms. And almost everything is free. Like the Python is free, all those modules are free. You can use Google Colab for free to do, to first write your notebooks in like Python codes, then to run them. So it's a very different environment. And it's very also interesting, like data science is very welcoming, all the people from all the different fields. Like once I submitted a paper to a physics journal, and the editor sent me an email saying that, by the way, you are a faculty member in an electrical engineering department. Why are you submitting a paper to a physics journal? And I was like, what I'm doing was in physics, right? So the data science is not like that. They are welcoming everyone from all levels, all backgrounds. So that is a very welcoming and democratic platform. So this is why data science has become extremely popular among all those different peoples. And job market is great. Our graduates, actually our students, they find jobs much before they graduate. Or if they have currently a job, then they use their degree to get a promotion, to get a salary increase, and serious amount. So job market is really good. You shouldn't have any worry about it as long as you do your job, meaning that you will join us, you will work hard. Okay, you don't have to join us. You can also go to other programs, but wherever you go, you have to work hard, right? You have to keep your GPA high. You have to have a very nice GitHub profile, LinkedIn profile, very professional. So if you play this game right, then of course you will end up with a nice job at the end. So the average salary in our neighborhood is like 120K per year, but of course some people make much more than this, and some people make, of course, less than that. So this is just the average. So how can you make more salary than this? Of course, it depends on how much you know in this field, right? And also how you present this. So maybe you know a lot, but if you don't have a proof, then they will just offer you average salary. So this is why you are here, or another platform, doesn't matter, another university. So you should build a profile, and you will build that profile gradually, step by step. But at the end, people then visit their when they visit your GitHub profile or repo, they will be able to say, okay, this guy knows about machine learning, this guy knows about data management, this guy knows about neural networks. There should be all those different types of projects working on different types of topics, and also you should tell them you are capable of working with different type of data sets. So when you join us, we will be talking about this all the time. Okay, but again, market is really great. So on the right, you see a survey, and they asked current data scientists, how often do you get contacted for new job opportunities through LinkedIn or some other activities, headhunter activities. And if you look at the middle part, it says 50% of the people, they receive at least one request per week. And this is also true for us. I was on LinkedIn for a couple of years ago, and I was receiving invitations from headhunters or HR people to join their companies. And it will also happen to you, okay? So don't be surprised. So in order to meet these demand, we created our graduate data science programs, and we basically have a certificate program which consists of 4 courses, and we have a Master of Professional Studies, which is our 10 courses, 30 credits graduate program. And we offer both programs in 2 campuses. So one of our campuses is in Rockville at Shady Grove. Instead, compared to our main campus, it's smaller, but very fancy, a brand new campus. So if you're interested you can join us in our Shady Grove campus. But we also have our program in our main campus, and they have both advantages and disadvantages. Meaning that we offer same set of courses. Most of the time, maybe the same instructor can teach the same class, on one day on main campus, on another day at the Shady Grove campus. But, for example, if you're an international student, you might like to join our program at the main campus. Why? Because rents are cheaper. Right? But if your house or if your work is close to our Shady Grove campus, then you should think about joining our program mainly at the Shady Grove campus. But this doesn't necessarily mean that if you belong to one campus, you cannot take a class from another one. So that's not true. You can take courses from both campuses, of course, but just for your ease, right, or your efficiency. So in our certificate program, our students take 4 courses, and these are definitely enough to start your data science career. The first one is Introduction to Data Science, right, in which we talk about a little bit of Python programming. We review slightly statistics, linear algebra. Then at the end, we talk about the machine learning 101, which is regression. But then in 602, we teach you all the fundamental methods of supervised and unsupervised machine learning algorithms. Okay, so you will learn all of them. You will apply all of them for different type of problems. So we don't cover so much deep learning in 602 because now we have a dedicated class for deep learning. Okay, Data 690, Modern Practical Deep Learning, taught by Dr. Edward Raff, which is one of the kings of this field. So in Data 601 and Data 602, you don't have to if you just have your laptop, that will be fine. You don't have to work with a fancy computer. But in order to work with large data sets, you need to know how to use platforms specifically created for big data, right? Like Hadoop, Yarn, MongoDB, etc. So in 603, we will be teaching you that, okay, how to scale up. And 604 is our data or database management class. You will learn structured data, unstructured data, SQL, NoSQL type of comments, queries. But at the end, these 4 classes will definitely give you all the basic fundamental knowledge you need to start your career in data science. And I have to tell you, this is really strange. This semester, this happened. It happened in the fall semester. So this was a new student in our program, domestic student, and she was just taking Data 601. And she started doing interviews with some local companies. And she got her new job as like a junior data scientist. Even after taking one class, I was like, are you like, is this company like legit? But apparently, yeah, it was legit. So apparently the company's perspective is, okay, join us while you are studying your data science, and we will precisely tell you what kind of data science or machine learning you're interested in, so you can focus, you can pay attention, and you can enhance your knowledge in those areas specifically. All right, so that's our certificate program. But in our data science master's program, so you will take those 4 courses. Then in addition to those 4 courses, you are supposed to take 3 certain courses. So these are ethical and legal issues in data science and a capstone project in data science. So you are supposed to take capstone at the very end, but of course, if you want to take it slightly earlier, that's also possible. A 7th course you need to take is like management, leadership, and communications, in which so what will happen is the following, right? So you join a company as a data scientist or data analyst, right? You will work for that company for a couple of years. Then your program manager will ask you, so do you want to go in the technical field, or you want to continue in the technical field, or you want to go into the management pathway, right? So this class, like Engineering 652, is like that pathway 101. Okay, if you want to be a manager, data science manager, you will learn what you need to know in the beginning and what you should do in the long term to prepare yourself to become a successful manager in the field of data science. And then you also need to take 3 other courses, elective courses. We call them like pathways. And yeah, I will talk about them in a minute. But before I talk about them, let me tell you the difference between MPS and MS. So our program is MPS. So what does it mean? It means that this program is created for people who are either in the field of IT or computing, but they don't know much about data science, or you are working in a total different field, but you want to switch your career towards data science. Okay, so you don't have to have a background in computer science. So in our program, we offer all the courses in the evenings. Okay. We have a couple of sections taught during the daytime, but they are primarily for international students. For our domestic students, we have courses always on the evenings. So we teach several sections of our classes because we are a very large program, and we always teach at least 1 or 2 online sections of each data science classes. Okay, so that will be an online class. This is especially useful if you are traveling, right? If you are traveling a lot for your work, then don't worry, we have online courses to cover you. So our courses are mostly taught by industry professionals. Of course, we have full-time faculty members, but we really have experts who work in the field of data science during the daytime. Then in the evenings, they come to our campus and they teach their courses. And they are really the experts of these fields. I will introduce them to you in maybe 5 or 10 minutes. But our courses are not taught by the CS or IS professors. Okay, so we have a couple of data science faculty members, but mostly they are taught by industry professionals. And like students do not write a thesis, but they work on a capstone project, right? So when we look at our curriculum, let's say like the x-axis here is theory and the y is application, right? So our program compared to MS in computer science, it stays on the top left, meaning that our focus is the applications and the tools and the methods of data science. So we are not trying to create the new machine learning algorithms. There are already so many of them, great ones. So we will teach you how to use them and when to use them. Right? We have regression, we have KNN, like k-nearest neighbor, or we have like neural networks. Which one you should use for a given specific task? Right? And when you are building a neural network, of course, there are an infinite number of possibilities, right? Sometimes you will need to use a fully connected neural network. Sometimes you will need to build an RNN, right? So which one you should build, how to build it, how to optimize it. So we teach those. So, but if you're interested in creating new like novel machine learning algorithms, then our program is not the right one for you. Okay, the main objective is train people so that they can work in the data science, in the field of data science from day one. If you're interested in the theory part, then please apply to MS in computer science. Okay, not our program. Also, if you are considering to apply for a PhD after graduation, like PhD in computer science, again, you better apply to MS in computer science. Okay, and because MPS is specifically created for industry. So we look at, for example, we look at the job descriptions very carefully. We determine what are the demands in the industry. Then we go back to our curriculum and we update them. Like, for example, like 3 years ago, we were not teaching Yarn, right? Or Spark. Now we are teaching Spark because it is the one in demand. So that's our number one priority, teaching the right tools at the right time to you guys. So I told you that we have, like, you are supposed to take 3 elective courses, and we have so many areas that you can take courses from. You can take advanced or foundational data science courses from our program. If you are a domestic student and if you're interested in cybersecurity, you can take cybersecurity classes, health IT, management, project management, engineering management. If your dream is working for World Bank or IMF, then you better take courses from the public policy, because they are looking for data scientists who knows about a little bit of economy, like macroeconomy and policy. Right? So you should take courses from them. If you have an undergraduate degree in CS, computer science, or if you have an undergraduate degree in information systems, you can, of course, take courses from them. But don't forget, there are 3 departments, they require a specific undergraduate degree so that you can take their courses. Computer science, economics, and IS, they require having that undergraduate degree so that you can take their courses. We also have 2 online programs. One of them is with Institute of Aging, and the other one is bioinformatics. So this is a collaboration with NIH, NIH, National Institute of Health. And within the NIH, they have actually graduate school. So they cannot give degrees, but their experts can teach courses, right? And these are mostly focusing on data science and bioinformatics. And you can guess, it is a very, very hot field right now, especially if you have a background in biology, chemistry, or pharmaceutical subjects, then you should definitely think about this option. If you take courses, like 3 courses from NIH focusing on bioinformatics, 7 courses from us, then, and your undergraduate degree in biology or health or like pharmaceutical subjects, then it will be a perfect combination for them. Okay. All right. So we have several data science 690 special topics classes. So why they all have the same course? So we are a public university, right, state university, and there's a rule. So in order to create new courses, we have to first offer them as a special topics class, teach them for a couple of times, and show that there's a demand for this class, and this is a successful class. Like students' course evaluations are have high scores for the course and for the instructors. Then we can convert them into regular courses. So we will be actually applying to convert our at least 4 or 5 special topics classes into regular classes. But basically the idea is we create specific courses to help you to become a successful data scientist. So 3 of them, we call them like foundational data science courses, and we created those courses for people, especially from non-technical backgrounds. Okay, so let's say you studied music, right? You've never taken a course on calculus. That's fine. We have a course called Mathematical Foundations of Machine Learning, or Mathematical Foundations for Machine Learning. And in that class, we will teach you all you need to be successful in data 601, 602, 603, etc. But still, it would be nice if you can have some pre-training before you join us. Like if you haven't taken a class on those subjects, I would strongly recommend you to look at online courses. By doing so, like you will not only learn new subjects, but also you will test yourself, like whether, oh, do I like linear algebra or not, or you will like statistics or not. Okay, so we have 3 courses to teach the math foundations. Then another one is like, it is called like Stats and Ms, which we cover like 5 or 6 weeks of Python programming, then fundamentals of statistics. But this class is created for beginners, okay? If you have no idea about Python programming, then please, please, please take this class in your first semester, okay? And the third course, it is created for like intermediate Python programmers. So let's say, basics of Python programming, but you are not deep enough to become successful in Data 602, then please consider taking our Data 690 data structures and algorithms in Python. Okay. We have some application courses like Data Science for Finance, very popular among our people who are interested in a career in finance after graduation. We have a very fancy course, Designing Data-Driven Web Applications. Like, this is really great. Like, this is amazing. So you will be able to create like websites, okay, like dashboards, which will get the data, live data. It could be like COVID data coming from WHO database, like World Health Organization database, or stock market. You will crunch those numbers. You will apply some machine learning algorithms. Then you will just plot the results, okay? So this is really amazing. Our students who took that class, they were able to not only like learn, understand creating those dashboards, but also they were able to create very fancy websites for themselves or like profiles on GitHub. This was like an amazing class. So we offer this class every fall. So we don't offer it in spring. So maybe you should take a note. In this fall, we will teach it again. Dr. Darren Johnson, who's a chief data scientist, he will be teaching this class. 1 second. Am I doing? Okay, 6 or 8. Good. So let's say you join us, you learn the fundamentals of data science, machine learning, you are good, right? But now, let's say you are ready for next challenge. You want to learn about deep learning. You want to do AI, artificial intelligence. You want to do NLP, natural language processing, right? For that kind of mindset and people, we also have courses. So these are advanced data science courses. But don't forget, you should only take these courses after completing Data 602. Don't try to register them before completing Data 602. Okay, very important. So AI class has been taught by Patricia De La Fuente. Okay, so Patricia works for NVIDIA. So if you don't know NVIDIA, just Google it and you will be surprised. So what will happen is you will get one of those Jetson Nanos. So those are basically robots, which you can teach. Okay, so they will be learning through your algorithms. It's really an amazing class. An introduction to NLP. So NLP is like natural language processing, right? It is widely used from all those big companies like Google, Facebook, because like you enter a query, which is like a text, and from that query, these companies are trying to learn from you. Or if you would like to build like a chatbot, right? Again, it's an NLP project. Or if you are going to do like a summary, so you have a 600 pages report, and you have to provide a summary next day. So that NLP is your friend to go. And I have to tell you, like right now, I have this project in my mind, and if I can find time, I will try to implement that project with our capstone project students. And I can tell you, it's not a big secret. So what happened is the following. So like last month, I was extremely busy, like all classes to teach, meetings to participate, talks to give, proposals to write, proposals to review, right? And I had several deadlines, and I realized that I wouldn't be able to meet those deadlines. So, and one of those deadlines was about NSF, like National Science Foundation. So I was supposed to review some proposals and provide them a feedback. And based on my calculations, I didn't have time for that. Okay, so what I did is I converted those PDF files to speech files. So there's a Python module for that. It's just one line PDF to Python sound. So I convert those PDF files into MP3 files, and I put them on my phone. And whenever I have time, for example, when I'm driving to work or home, I was just listening to them. So that's great, right? But there's a problem. Like in scientific community, we use lots of abbreviations, we use lots of references. There are like lots of tables, figure captions. And whenever it comes to like a table, it was a disaster. It was like table 1.1122. Like for like 5 minutes, it was just reading some numbers which doesn't make any sense. Okay. So I said, okay, this summer, if I have a time, I will create a team of capstone project students, and we will do this NLP project. The project is creating a PDF to speech, or like MP3, however you call it, for scientific community. So we will do first image processing, and we will determine where we have all those images and where we have all those tables. So they will be removed. Then we will look at all the abbreviations. If the abbreviation is defined, we will use the full version. If abbreviation is not defined, we will learn the abbreviation from Google search. Then there will be some NLP, like what, why, because there will be an equation, right? So NLP will read that equation to us. But I'm really hopeful that in 3.5 months, we can create this product, and then we can put that product on Apple or like Apple App Store or Google Play, just as a free product. So the nice thing about this data science is this, okay? So you might have problems and you can solve these problems by yourself. But of course, teaming up will help a lot. You should be smart when you are teaming up. Don't recruit all the people with the same talent, right? In your team, there must be someone who's great on machine learning. There must be someone who's really great on that data engineering, right? So something like that. Actually, I have so many great examples, but right now we don't have time. But if you want to talk about them, like let's meet later and like talk about those great examples, like how our students use data science to solve their own problems. We have so many great examples of those. All right, I'm talking so much, I know. I have to speed up. So we have pathways in different subjects, and some of them, like cybersecurity and project management, actually, if you take certain courses, then you can get certificates in those certain fields, and it really helps. Like you will tell them, hey, I studied data science at UMBC, but I also took 3 courses in cybersecurity, so this is my certificate. So if you're a domestic student, you have to be, maybe you already know that, there's a huge demand for US citizens who knows about data science and cybersecurity. As soon as you get you will get your security clearance after you start for working for that company, but NSA, National Security Agencies, and all the contractors working for that field, it is huge. Like last December, a company approached us. Can't give you the name, but let's keep it for a moment. And they were like this. So we want all of your domestic graduates. We want like 25 of them. And we were like, we don't have 25 domestic students right now who will be graduating at the end of December. Then they were like, okay, whatever you have. So again, like this is a very, very big field. So if you're a domestic student right now listening to me, and if you have some interest in cybersecurity, I think we should talk, okay? All right, so these are the pictures of our faculty members, and actually I couldn't find a spot to find to put pictures of our other faculty members, but these are all great people, and they are really passionate about teaching. If you ask me, if you point out any of them to me, I can tell you the full story, but in short, they are great people with great education. They have a true passion for teaching. Right now, they work for like great companies like Google, NVIDIA, IBM, KPMG, Amazon, Mitre, Booz Allen, Databricks, you call them. And hopefully, when you join us, you will learn a lot from them. Okay. I know the number of our women instructors is low, but we are working on that. Hopefully, soon we will have more women instructors. But from the student perspective, we are doing much better. 40% of our students are women, and we are very proud of that. And we are hoping that at some point that number will be like 50-50. We have a blog, gritinAction.umbc.edu. If you go there, you can read about our graduate success stories. For example, here, like you see, Jessica. So Jessica studies psychology, and now she's a senior data scientist at McCormick. This guy, Nick, he's very smart. So he was working as like an associate, and in his first semester, he went to his boss and he said, "Hey, look, I will be a data scientist," and he got a 56% salary increase. Okay, this is really crazy. Yeah, there's a link to the video that I showed you in the beginning. So I just compiled that video last May. So we were about to graduate 57 students, and I was able to find 40 of them on LinkedIn. I just compiled that video. But again, our students are doing really great. Let me give you one example. One student called me, and he said, "I started my study at UMBC in fall 2021, which is like 5 months ago, 6 months ago. Good." And he said, "Can I graduate in August?" I was like, "Yeah, you can, but what's the rush?" And he said he got a job offer from Amazon on the West Coast, and he will start on October 17th. And the only condition is graduating before that day. I said, "Sure, you can do that. Just take 4 courses in spring, 3 courses in summer, you will be good to go." Okay. That's it. There's a demand, and our program is like, I have to be honest with you, it's really good. Like last week, we had a meeting, like all the local data science GPDs, like GW, George Mason, UMD, College Park, me, and other folks. Apparently, our program is very technical, but we have foundational courses to prepare, to provide you enough preparation for those technical courses, technical classes. And we don't actually, we use every second of every lecture in a smart and efficient way. And that is, I think, how it should be. Right? Our students are paying a serious amount of money to our program, so we should do a good job. Well, a couple of FAQs. The first question comes mostly from international students. Is your program STEM? Yes, it is STEM, meaning that our graduates can get an extended OPT, like for 3 years. Do we require GRE? No, we don't require GRE. Can you take courses from different pathways? Of course, as long as you meet the requirements, you can take any of those courses. Can you take courses from like Shady Grove campus if you're a main campus students? Yes, you can do that. Do we have assistantships or scholarships? Not really, but at our main campus, there are some opportunities, so you have to check for those openings at UMBC Works. But in order to do that, you have to have a UMBC account. Okay? If you have a UMBC mail account, just Google UMBC Works, then you will see the currently available opportunities. But of course, right now we are in the middle of the spring semester, so don't expect so many opportunities right now. The number of opportunities will go up in summer. And how do we help our students with finding jobs and internships? So we have a very active career center. Actually, we had a meeting with them this Tuesday at 2 p.m. So they're working really hard. They are bringing all the big companies to campus. They're bringing like speakers. They're trying to do this, establish those networking events as much as they can. But they also will help you with mock interviews, making your resume much better, like professional. And also, like, we receive requests from industry and also government organizations asking for interns or full-time employees. We always share that. We have this listserv. So that when you will join us, and you will see that we will be sharing them on a regular basis. Are there some online classes? Yes, we have some online classes. Actually, we have at least one online version of all the data science classes. Okay? And if you're missing an experience or coursework on subject X, that's fine. Maybe we are offering courses on those subjects like programming, statistics, and math, or I should say, you should think about taking online courses. So don't pay anything. Okay? We don't personally, I don't care about the certificate you will be getting from an online certificate, online class. My problem or my intention is that you should have the fundamentals, okay? As long as you have the right fundamentals, with certificate or without certificate, doesn't matter. You will be good to go. And how about the thesis? As I told you before, we don't write thesis, but we have a capstone project, okay? All right, so let me stop here. Stephanie, can you continue from here for a moment?
I sure can. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course. So in terms of admission requirements, to be applicable for admission consideration, all applicants must hold a bachelor's degree in any subject matter with a minimum GPA of 3.0 on the 4.0 scale. If your previous institution has a different scale, we do have graduate school administration to accurately convert for our committee review. As Dr. Simsek has previously mentioned, all prior coursework should include calculus, statistics, and basic programming, such as Python, which is the main language of our program. If an applicant has work experience that would demonstrate abilities in programming, this may be a factor of consideration towards the requirements. However, if you do not have prior coursework or work experience, we recommend you take online courses in statistics, linear algebra, and/or programming. Again, while the GRE is not a requirement, international applicants must demonstrate proficiency in the English language by submitting one of the 3 tests, as shown via the screen. Currently, we are also accepting the Duolingo test report, but please keep in mind that all score reports must be less than 2 years old. In terms of the actual application process, you will apply online, which all applications are managed by our trusted partner, CollegeNet. You can find the application link on screen here, or you may find it via the Data Science website under the How to Apply section. As part of the application packet, you'll need to request all official transcripts sent to the UMBC Graduate School. This can be done via hard copy US mail, but we do prefer that it's sent by email directly to the grad school, and that email is gradschool@umbc.edu. For those who are current UMBC students and/or alumni, you still must request or directly upload your UMBC transcript and submit within your application. It is not a given that the committee will go and try to find that. So just again, current UMBC students and/or alums, you must also still request and/or directly upload your UMBC transcript within your application. For our international applicants, again, you must provide one of the English proficiency test reports, as well as we require you to submit 2 letters of recommendation, which must be on letterhead and signed by the recommender. In terms of your academic resume, this resume is a file that you have access to upload yourself. And many times I receive the question regarding what is best to include. We are looking for information such as your GPA, awards received, research experience, and any programming and coursework background that would be relevant towards your program skills you've learned. Your statement of purpose. This is your statement and where we get to know you, your background, and your academic intent in data science, as well as your future career plans. It's also where you can briefly share any concerns you may have, perhaps like a lower GPA or a lower test report. And then last but not least, transfer credits. We do accept up to 6 hours of graduate level coursework. In order to have this evaluated, you must send to our attention the following: a completed UMBC transfer credit request form, which can be found via the UMBC website. Please do not simply send a general email with various documents attached. It must begin with the UMBC transfer credit request form. And then we also need a course description, the syllabus, and the number of credit hours. And so those are admission and application requirements. And so I'll turn it back over to Dr. Simsek.
Okay, give me a second. All right. Oh, so that's it. Yeah, actually, I think we covered almost everything at the introduction level. So there are a couple of email addresses and websites. So we have this official website, right? datascience.umbc.edu, where we keep all our static data. Okay, all the basic information you need is here. But if you are interested in learning about what we are teaching in our courses, in our program, then you should go to DIL. Like this is an acronym like Data Impact Lab. So dil.umbc.edu. You can find everything like the syllabi of our courses, what course should be taken when, who are our faculty members, what is their email addresses, what are the procedures, everything you need, actually it is here. And then my email address, like simsek@umbc.edu. If you have an academic question, I will be more than happy to answer. If you have an administrative question, like regarding your application, like prepare materials or some other stuff, then please use our shared email address, datascience/mps@umbc.edu. And you can use this code, DPS 2022, in the special populations code, then you will not need to pay for your application. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Okay, so thanks so much for your attention. If you have any questions, we will be more than happy to answer.
Yes, so at this time, you can ask your questions in the chat, and I can help Dr. Simsek by reading them aloud for the greater good, or you may unmute and ask your question aloud. I do see in the chat, will this recorded session be shared? As I shared in the very beginning, yes, this will be shared for those that did attend on tonight. It will come within 2 weeks, and it will come from our marketing, our UMBC marketing department. So it won't be from Ergen Simsak or Stephanie Allen. So please just be on the lookout within the next 1.5 to 2 weeks from the UMBC marketing. Ensure it does not go into your spam.
No questions? Come on.
This is a first.
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
If you need the prerequisite courses, does UMBC offer prerequisite courses, or is it mostly you need to transfer from another campus?
Well, actually, it depends on the course, right? If, let's say, you don't have a Python programming experience, then there are two options. Option number one, you can go to one of those online teaching platforms like edX or Course, Udemy. You can take an online class and you can learn them. You can start learning Python programming. Or option B is we have created those courses to prepare, right? For example, our Data 690 Stats and Ms, like statistical analysis and visualization. Actually, the first 6 weeks, you know what we do? We start from zero. Okay, this is where you download from Python. This is where you download Anaconda. This is how we install it. Okay, then let's do Python 101 programming. So that we take our time to teach those basics. And as I told you, like we have those 3 courses. In one of them, we teach basic Python programming and stats. In another one, we teach advanced Python programming. And third one is math foundations for data science. So if you're just missing one, for example, in your statement of purpose, just mention that, look, I didn't take a course on, or I don't have experience in programming, but I am willing to take your 690s stats and this. And that is enough for us. Like, we just want to know that you understand our program, and we want to know that, like, actually, we want to make sure that we understand you. As long as we are on the same page, there's a solution. Okay. So meeting admission requirements is not a problem. We can definitely help. And if you need some recommendations, I can share some recommendations with you. For a course on statistics, a course on Python programming, or like online courses, I mean. The third option is taking another a similar course either at UMBC or at another university. So unfortunately, at UMBC, we don't have so many options. We have some, but it requires like a procedure. So you have to apply as a non-degree seeking student. I think it will be easier and more economical if you take a course on a community college, right? Because community colleges have really nice foundational courses on statistics, about linear algebra, about programming. Those courses will be also fine. So again, you have three options: graduate course in our program, online course, or a course you can take on like a community college or another university. And again, if you need help with that, just shoot me an email. I will give you some recommendations.
Okay, so we've been getting some great questions in the chat. And so I'm going to try to go in order. I've been answering quite a bit of those, so just keep those in mind. Let's go. Here's one. They did put it to the public, so I'll read it out loud. And it says, I'm having a TOEFL score of 91, but in the speaking section, my score is less than 22. What is my eligibility for admission?
Oh, that's fine. Why that is fine, let me tell you. So I came to this country with a TOEFL score of 90. Okay, and you can see it, you can hear it, right? I have a very thick accent. So speaking doesn't improve quickly. It takes time, and sometimes it doesn't improve, like in my case, right? But I have to be honest, like in data science, there are two options, right? You could be on the like technical side, applying or using all those tools. So for that one, you probably will not need to have a great English. But if you think that you want to be a manager, or if you want to be at the sales part of data science, then you will need good English. And for like international students, you will see a huge improvement in your English when you come here. And actually, let me tell you my story. So I came here in 2001, and my TOEFL score was like 550, which corresponds to 90, according to today's rate. Then at the end of my first year, I had to retake it to apply, actually at the end of my second year, I'm sorry, to apply for PhD programs. And I took it. And you know what happened? I got full score in listening. So just in 2 years, my listening became perfect. So take your time when you come here. I don't know where you are from, but don't spend so much time with the people from your country. Okay, even though I'm saying that, like my roommate was Turkish. Okay, because if you want to accelerate your learning, then you should just hang out with domestic people. You should always like listen like radio, like NPR. You should watch TV just without subtitles, etc. Then you will improve your English dramatically. But 91 is fine. And if one of them is below 22, like, don't be so harsh to yourself. So I will be very harsh to you if you join our program and if you don't do what I just said. So you have to work hard on everything, on data science, improving yourself to become a better person, a more intellectual person. Then I will be harsh on you if you don't do that. But then the rest is fine.
All right, our next question, number one, Angela thanks us for our time during this open house. And then she says, I was interested in the spatial analytics pathway because I am interested in utilizing GIS and data visualization. Are there online courses for this pathway, or are classes only in person at the Shady Grove campus?
Okay, that's a very good question. So I had a meeting with the GPD of that program very recently. And so they want to transform their program towards our side, meaning so they will use more data science, more data visualization, and of course GIS, right? So if you are asking for the data visualization course only, I have a good news, because the instructor of that course has moved to Maine. Okay? So he has to teach online. So you are in good shape. You will be able to take that class online. But I will definitely provide this feedback to GPD of GIS. I will tell him there's an interest in your courses, because like sometimes you know what we do. We have those fancy classrooms, meaning we have multiple microphones in the classroom, multiple cameras, and several TVs. So the instructor teaches the class in the classroom. There are students in the classroom, let's say like 15 of them, but there are also 10 of them online. Okay, so we call them like smart classrooms. So we can definitely and easily ask them to offer that course in a smart classroom, then you can just take it. But this is a really good feedback. And I have to be very honest with you. So this is a very hot field. Why? Because we have NASA, right? One of our recent graduates, he was an amazing student. Right now he works as a senior data scientist at Nielsen, but he had 2 internships at NASA, and all the projects he was working on, it was geospatial data coming from like those satellites. I even know the name, but right now I cannot come up with the name. So it's a very hot field. Another reason it's a very hot field, World Bank. World Bank is using lots of geospatial data, and they are doing data science. And the third one is Esri. So Esri, if you are in that field, like you would know, they are the biggest geospatial data provider of the entire world, and they are in just right here, right, Arlington, Virginia. So you are in the right spot, and we can definitely provide you with those courses, and we can make sure that at least they offer those courses also online. But if you join our program, just shoot me an email, okay? I don't want to forget this. This is a really good feedback. My coffee is done.
Okay, here's another one in the public forum. It says, as mentioned in one of the slides for international students, it is necessary to submit English proficiency test IELTS with 6.5 in all sections. Is it okay if we have less than that in one of the sections?
Look, it's okay. Look. Like, you're asking me questions like as if like I was your enemy. No, I'm not your enemy. Like, we are trying to make sure 2 things, right? We are trying to make sure that we have high quality students, right? And the number 2, they are ready to become successful in this field. So if you are missing one field, that's fine. Like when you will be joining, when you will be studying in our program, like during 16 months or so, you will have time to improve that. But if you're an international student, and if you're, I don't know, like let's say your speaking skills are not good enough, then you have to work on that. And we have resources. We have, in our library, if you go to our library, you will see that we have books and online courses to improve your English skills. So I'm using those resources to improve il mio italiano. It's un altro subject, okay? I'm trying to learn Italian. So I don't know why, but I love Italian. All right, another question?
Yes, I'm trying to go through them. Some of them I've been answering while you've been talking simultaneously. One says, and this is pretty easy to answer. I just want to make sure that we get this on recorded if they have any follow-up. And it says, can the English proficiency be waived if an applicant is a native speaker?
Like there are like certain rules. Like for example, there are some countries where the native language is English, like or one of the native languages is English. Then there's no need to have an ELC exam, ELC score. If you have a degree from, I don't know, let's say from Canada or UK, then that's also fine. So like there are 2 options. But again, maybe if you can send me an email, I can give you a precise information about your case. 2 requirements, like you should either have an undergraduate degree or graduate degree from like an English-speaking country, or your country should be officially speaking English.
Excellent. How long does it take to review an application and send the response?
So look, it depends on the time you submit it, right? Stephanie knows better than I do. We received a huge number of applications, and we are working really hard. Stephanie is working very hard. Her team is working really hard. I am working really hard. Like, for example, last night from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., I finished reviewing at least 20 applications, okay? So we are working really hard. And also, we are not the only ones in the pipeline. So you will submit an application, it will be reviewed by the graduate school, If it is complete, it will come to our program. It will be reviewed from our experts. It will come to our search committee, our committee. We will provide a feedback. It will go to the graduate school. Graduate school needs some time to process. But at the end, I don't think we can get back to you less than in 3 weeks. Okay, probably it will take more than that. But the best possibility would be at this time, like three, let's say 4 weeks to be just sure.
And I'd like to add with Dr. Simsek, one of the things, and it's a pro, but I do have to make sure to bring this up, is our graduate school will open up applications for the next semester early before the current semester has ended. However, we do not begin looking at applications for the next semester until the beginning of the school year has already started for the current. And I want to make sure to point that out because we do get students that as soon as the application opens, say right now, as soon as the application opens for spring 2023, someone will apply. And so they've applied in March, but we won't start looking at those until February. And so they'll say, hey, I applied 4 or 5 months ago. I haven't heard from you. And you just have to remember, we have to take care of the current semester. Then we will begin looking into the new semester. So I want to just make sure that we put that caveat in there. It's not as though our committee with Dr. Simsek is putting applications to the side and waiting. We just have to deal with the current students, get them in place, then start with the new semester. And once we start with the new semester, we do go in order of when applications are received. That's part A. Part B is if they are 100% complete. So I urge you that when you're starting to do your applications, we love your excitement, but ensure that you go back to our website and make sure, even if you have to print it out, to do a checklist of all the requirements so that when you do submit your application and you submit it early and we get to it, we don't have to send you an email to delay it because something is missing. And that does tend to happen. So please keep that in mind for that. All right, another question, Dr. Simsek. Can international students work while on campus? Do you have any feedback for that?
Yeah, they can work in the first 2 semesters actually only on the campus. And after completing 2 full semesters, meaning like fall and spring, then they can work also off campus using their CPT. And most of our students are doing that. They're working as like interns or like full-timers after completing 2 semesters.
Okay, we're getting a bit to the end. Please note that if you do have some more questions, go on and put it in the chat. We'll probably hang around for a good 5 or 10 more minutes because we definitely want to get your questions in. But again, as a reminder, if we aren't able to answer your questions, please know you can reach out to Dr. Simsek. You can reach out to me as follow-up, and we will definitely get back to you. We're really good with emails. Okay, if I have already taken pre-calc and am currently taking Cal 1, should I wait until I finish Calc 1 to apply?
No, just apply.
Sorry about that. I was trying to find my unmute button. Okay. And so at this time, what I will say is if anyone has any other questions, to feel free to unmute. Please, if it's a very specific type of advising question, like you want evaluation of your transcript and if you should apply, that's really something we'd prefer to do offline and have you email us directly. But if it's something very general that would be good for the audience, we'd love for you to unmute and ask. And remember, again, this is being recorded, so you will get a copy.
Don't say that, something bad.
No, that's not bad. It's just if anyone forgets some of the answers, aside of the wealth of knowledge that we have on our website, you can always refer back to this recording. And also to let you know, the PowerPoint slides that Dr. Simsek is sharing tonight, aside of just in the recording, we will send them separately as well. So you'll also get the direct PowerPoint slide. And so again, as a reminder, within a week and a half to 2 weeks, this will be sent to all attendees from the marketing team. Again, not from Dr. Simsek or from me, but from the UMBC marketing team. Okay, we got about 4 more minutes. Any other questions?
If no more questions, let's finish this session. Thanks so much for attending.